Okay students, let's solve the last question. Question number 8. It is from abstract algebra group theory. It is a very easy question. According to me, it is the most easiest question among all of the 8 questions. The question says that G is a group having exactly 3 subgroups. I am repeating my argument again. G is a group having exactly 3 subgroups. Prove that G is cyclic group of order p square for some prime p. So let us start the solution. We will show that G is a group of order p square for some prime p, right students? Okay, now first of all observe G cannot be the identity group or trivial group, right? G cannot be the identity group or trivial group because it is given that it has exactly 3 subgroups and this group has exactly one subgroup, that is itself. So G cannot be the identity group. Now G cannot be the identity group, it means I actually can get an element G belongs to G such that G is not the identity element, right? It is possible that G is not the identity group, so there exists a G belongs to G such that G is not the identity element. Now I am considering H is equal to cyclic group generated by G. Okay, now there are two possibilities. Either this H coincide with G and this H is not equal to G. So first of all, case 1, when this H coincide with G, that is G is the cyclic group generated by G. Now if this H coincides with G, I actually can say G is a cyclic group generated by G, right? G is a cyclic group generated by G. Now then we know that G is commutative as G is finite and it will imply G is commutative. Now here I am considering the finite case, so G is a finite commutative group and finite. Now G is a finite commutative group, then I actually can say as G is a finite commutative group and G is cyclic, what I actually can say about G? I actually can say G converse of Lagrange's theorem is hold for G. Therefore, converse of Lagrange's theorem is true for G, right? Converse of Lagrange's theorem is true for G. Now you are asking me, sir, why G is finite? You actually can say this G is cyclic. Okay, so there are two cases where G is finite and G is infinite. Now if G is infinite, as G is cyclic, G is isomorphic to Z, right? Now how many subgroups Z have? Z have infinitely many subgroups. Now it is given that this group G has exactly 3 subgroups, so this G cannot be equal to Z, so this G must be finite. Okay, that's why I am saying that G is finite. Now converse of Lagrange's theorem is true for G. What does it mean? It means let A divides order of G, then G has a subgroup of order A. So, and it is given that G has exactly 3 subgroups, right? G has exactly 3 subgroups. Now as G has exactly 3 subgroups and converse of Lagrange's theorem is true, I actually can say G order of G has exactly 3 divisors. 3 divisors, right? That is one itself and a number. So it forces that order of G must be some square of some prime. Only this kind of numbers has exactly 3 divisors, one itself and by P. So this proves that order of G is equal to P square. But we prove this when G is equal, H is equal to G. Okay, now let us consider case 2. When H is a proper subgroup of G. Now if H is a proper subgroup of G, just observe the stepwise solution. Now if H is a proper subgroup of G, what actually can say? Then there exists an element X belongs to G minus H. Now as we have chosen this X from G minus H, then H contains the identity element which is the identity element of G. So I actually can say this X cannot be the identity element. And this X does not belong to H, so X does not belong to H. H is the cyclic group generated by G, so X is not belongs to cyclic group generated by G. So I am considering another subgroup H1 is the cyclic group generated by X. Now as this X cannot belong to G, so I actually can say this H cannot equal to H1 cannot equal to H. Now it is given that X is not the identity element, so this H1 is not equal to the identity element also, and it is given that G has exactly 3 subgroups. G has exactly 3 subgroups. If G has exactly 3 subgroups, then one is improper subgroup, one is proper subgroup, and one is non-trivial proper subgroup. Right now G is not equal to the only proper non-trivial subgroup H, and H1 is not equal to the only proper non-trivial subgroup H. H1 is not equal to the trivial subgroup E also. So I actually can say this H1 must be equal to G, that is equal to cyclic group generated by X, right? And hence from this I actually can say G is a cyclic group. Okay, so we have proved the cyclic part, and again G has exactly 3 divisors. Again, say by same argument G is cyclic, so it will imply G is commutative. Therefore converse of Lagrange's theorem hold. Of Lagrange's theorem is true for G. Converse of Lagrange's theorem is true for G. So I actually can say G has only 3 subgroups. It actually means that G, order of G has exactly 3 divisors. 3 divisors, right? G has exactly 3 divisors, and the number which has exactly 3 divisors is must be the square of some prime P. So I actually can say order of G is equal to P square for some prime P. Okay students, so order of G is equal to P square for some prime P. So in any case we have proved that in any case G is cyclic, right students, and order of G is equal to P square for some prime P, right? Order of G is equal to P square for some prime P, right students? So this completes. So just a second, let me remove it. Okay, for some prime P, and therefore this completes the proof. This complete the proof, right students? So you actually can observe that this is the easiest question among all of other 8 questions. So we have solved the question number 8 also. So that's all about this paper. So thank you so much.